Good evening and welcome to Eagles basketball. My name is Mike Harrison, doing the calling here on the game today. They're doing a little bit of a fifth grade announcement here for players that will be playing at the halftime, fourth, fifth graders. So we're just letting them go through that. A great rendition of the national anthem by a couple of the local girls here. Actually, one's my neighbor, which was fun to see. And we'll get into your starting lineups here in a second. Tonight the game is against Royalton, so it's the Royalton Royals, coached by Jeremy Albright, assisted by Andrew Hagman and Ryan Weiner. And there will be, of course, going against your Eden Valley Watkins Eagles, who are coached by Jacob Anderson, assisted by Adam Langer and Josh Straight. And I think they're coming to an end here on the fifth graders. So now we'll get the visiting starting lineup. We got number 11, Chaz Syke. He's a 6'1" guard, senior. Number 24, Reagan Elliott. He's a 5'10" guard. He's a senior. Number 35, Aaron Kloss, who's a 6'3" forward and also a senior. Number 45, Jacob Albright, who's a 6'1" guard, senior. And lastly, number 43, Max Van Erden, who's a 6'3" junior forward. Now for your Eagles starting lineup. Six-foot senior guard, number 1, Braden Becker. 6-foot junior guard, number 3, Caleb DeRose. 5'11" sophomore guard, number 11, Bryce Nyman. 6'3" senior forward, number 2, Preston Langer. And lastly, 6'4" sophomore forward, number 5, Tate Kraft. All right, the Eagles have been playing a little bit better lately. Last game we called from home, it was against Paynesville. They lost on a last second shot attempt. But it was a tough, hard-fought game. And this one's looking to be a good game. The Eagles did lose to Royalton earlier in the season at their home building. But I think the way the Eagles have been playing lately, this is a game that is definitely winnable for them. So let's see how our Eagles do. All right, we got Kraft against Van Erden for the jump ball here. Van Erden wins that, Royalton ball. Royalton's moving that ball around the perimeter here. We're just looking to get set up. Van Erden drives, kicks it out to the corner. Royalton moves it back up to the point. And a little bit of scrumming around and ends up with the ball being handed between two players. There's a little bit of a travel there, a little confusion between the two players. Ball was handed to Chaz Syke, and I think he just was already running when he got the ball put in his hands, and that was that. In the corner for Caleb DeRose, and he puts that three-pointer up just a little bit off the mark on that one. Rebounded by the Royals. Brought up the floor by Reagan Elliott. And they take their own three-point shot there that's a little bit short, comes off the front of the rim and rebounded by the Eagles. Nyman getting set up on the wing here. He drives across the point, kicks it to Becker. Down to the corner to DeRose, who drives, kicks it back out. Becker's got the ball in his hands, moves that ball around in Nyman's hands. Nyman's going to go drive and kick it back out to an open Braden Becker for a three, and he drains that ball all the way from downtown Painesville. Drop that one in the bucket, Braden Becker. Van Nerden takes his own three, comes up short. Rebounded by Nyman. Nyman takes the ball up the floor. Early on, the Eagles tend to run all the offense through Nyman until Herring comes in the floor, and then they'll often share that duty. Becker takes the ball, kicks it out to Nyman. Nyman thinks about shooting three. Moves that ball around, drops it into Langer's hands. Back to Nyman. Swings it on the perimeter to Becker, who drops it down low to DeRose. He's got a short shot clock, and DeRose muscles his way up over Van Nerden and lays that in. Great effort play there by Caleb DeRose. Now Van Nerden on the wing, passes it up to the point. It's driven down through. And that is Aaron Kloss that puts up, after the foul, kind of puts up a wild layup that falls. So now he'll get a chance to make this a three-point play with the basket falling in. It'll be a one-shot attempt here. And he drains that one. Score now is 5-3 for the Eagles. Nyman brings the ball up the floor. Nyman drives down the center, kicks it back out to Becker on the wing. Becker drives down low, but he loses control of the ball as those guys were sticking their hands in, poking at it. Comes free. Recovered by Royalton. Royalton's trying to swing that ball around. Haven't found a lot of luck on cutting yet right now, but Van Nerden drives, and he spin jumps and comes up short. Just missed off the mark there, rebounded by the Eagles. Now in the hands of Becker on the wing. He moves across the point and down the lane and has the ball poked away, but into Kraft's hands, and Kraft puts up a layup that's a little strong. Rebounded by the Royals. Royals try driving, cutting play, kick it out to the point to Van Nerden, and Van Nerden drains that three-pointer. So now the score is 6-5 for the Royals. Nyman moving that ball around, down in the corner to Langer, who takes a nice lefty three-pointer, but ball was tipped and he comes up short. Royals looking to get set up here again on offense. Got the ball at the point, they drive down the lane, stop there, and again, as it travel for a second time by Syke. Syke or Sick, not really sure, but I apologize if I'm saying his name wrong. Nyman brings the ball up the floor on that turnover. They look to get things set up here to DeRose on the wing. Down in the corner to Becker, who's up to the Nyman on the wing. They look to get pass play going. They took Langer out of the game, and a nice backdoor cut there by Becker. He drives it and misses. Picked up by DeRose, who tries to lay it in, and then picked up by Kraft, who eventually lays that ball in. Nice little set of offensive rebound and follow through there. And a second and third chance for the Eagles. We got another travel again by the Royals. So not sure what's going on fundamentals-wise, but that's something they're going to have to talk about because that's the third time now. So something there in the fundamentals may be just a little bit wrong, or these refs are just calling things a little tighter than they're used to. Becker tries to drop the ball into Nyman, and that ball is picked off by Syke. Moved around. Van Nerden drives, picks it up to Syke, over into the wing. Back, it's driven through the lane and kicked out to Van Nerden on the other wing. Long by Van Nerden, but the long rebound ends up at the three-point line on another attempt, this time by Jacob Albright, who drains that for a long three-pointer. Score now 9-7 for the Royals. Becker to DeRose on the point. Over to Hearing. Hearing in now as Langer's been taken out. Nyman drives down low and tries to lay it in. He's met there by two Royals players. Doesn't quite get a clean shot, and that comes up short. Royals bring the ball up the other way. The Nernan now passes it down to the corner. Back up to Albright. Moving that ball around here, seeing what they can find is open. Now we have a backdoor cut that's swung out across and ends up in the hands of Albright for another long three, and this time is missed. Rebounded by Hearing. DeRose now off the quick play. He drains that one from all the way downtown. Kimball. Drop one in the bucket. Caleb DeRose. That was a nice pass play there by Hearing, who brought the ball up quickly and then dropped it back to DeRose. Gave him a little bit of an opening there to shoot. Another three-pointer there by the Royals. Ends up out in the corner. And then Hearing had the ball, chased the ball down, and as he was falling out of bounds, threw it off of Albright's feet and ends up becoming Eagles ball. Nice heads-up play by Hearing, but that's what we kind of expect from him, that high-energy driving plays. Yeah, great player Hearing is. Brings a lot of energy off that bench. Nyman passes into Hearing. Hiltner's now in the game, giving Kraft a break. And Caleb DeRose hits another three-pointer from all the way downtown Manana. Drop one in the bucket, Caleb DeRose. Score now 13-9 for the Eagles. Had a couple substitutions here on the Royals side. They're looking to get things changed up and moving around. Nyman picks the pocket temporarily from Sick, and then it's knocked out of his hands, and he kind of has the ball, ends up going back across half. I don't know that it really should have been called over and back, but it was. And so now it's going to be Eagles ball. Nyman to pass in to Hearing on the point. Hearing swings it over to Rose. Over to Becker. Back to Hearing. To Rose for another three-pointer. That one rims in and out. And we got what looked like it could have been a jump ball, but they ended up calling it as a reach-in by Braden Becker on the foul. And Preston Langer will come back in the game and give Becker a breather. That's the second foul now for the Eagles only. Been pretty clean half so far. Royals looking to swing that ball around. Sick tries to drive, loses the handle on that. And they have three in the key there on the Royals. So Eagles ball. Couple costly turnovers here for the Royals that really have nothing to do with effort or anything. Just some calls going against them here for little fundamental things that I'm sure they're going to work hard to clean up here. Hearing looks to move that ball around, swings it over to DeRose, drops it in the corner. DeRose brings it back up to the point to Langer, and to the other wing to Nyman as they look to get going. And then Hearing down low in the corner gets a nice open look for a layup, which he just barely misses. Rebounded, three-point shot attempt by DeRose, and that one's long. Royals ball. It was a really pretty heads-up play there to Hearing, who basically alley-oop laid up and was just a little bit off on the mark, but that's a hard play to make. Layup attempt there by Dominic Marchev, and he's off just a little bit on that one. Rebounded by the Eagles. Nyman drives, trying to find somebody. DeRose gets down in low, and he's able to lay that ball in. Score right now is 15-9 for the Eagles. Fouls are only 2-1. A lot of hustle in this game, but it's been pretty clean, which is always good to see. That time, Marshall makes that one count, gets the layup to fall. 15-11 now. DeRose here for another three-pointer. Just a little bit short. I think the ball got tipped a little bit on the shot. Down low into Marshall again. That's a big, solid guy. He's going to knows how to throw his way around the down low in the paint. But this time he's going to call for it. He's 6'3" sophomore who's about looks to be about as solid as they come, and he is he's having his way down low with our guys being able to push him around. But this time the ref said that's too much pushing, so they call him on the foul. There's 2 team fouls now for the Royals. Hearing to Becker to Kraft, who's brought back into the game here. Ball is picked off on a pass from Kraft up to the three-point line. Three-point attempt is wide left for the Royals. They've made a couple, but they've missed a whole lot more. The Royals shots are not falling right now. And then Becker takes a three-point shot and does not get it. It's nearly rebounded by the Eagles, but as the ball's kind of getting batted around, it ends up out of bounds, and now it's Royals ball. Royals looking to get set up here on offense. Got it on the wing right now. Passing across to the point. Drop it down in low to Marshall. Marshall's trying to drop drive and has the ball swatted from his hands, but he regains control, kicks it over to Albright. Albright takes a 2-point shot, and that one's missed, and a little bit of a collision there between Marshall and Becker. It was a little bit rough, but just incidental. No calls on that either way. And we have a shot there by Hearing, 3-point shot that's a little bit twisting wide right. Royals now trying to get something going on offense. They cut down low, and they have a layup attempt there by Connor Bozer, and he's fouled by Tate Kraft on the shot. So Bozer will get 2 shots here. Makes the first one. And coach is going to change things up. So now in the game for the Eagles, you got Langer, Becker, Hearing, Nyman, and Hiltner. As on this change, Kraft and DeRose get a little bit of a breather. And Bozer makes the second one. Becker and Nyman. Nyman will bring the ball up the floor. He passes to Hearing on the point. Hearing over to Langer. Back to Hearing. To Becker, to Hearing. As Nyman is cutting back and forth, looking to get something kind of going here. Langer takes the long three-pointer and drains that from all the way downtown Litchfield. Drop one in the bucket, Preston Langer. Into Marshall now. He drops, step, spins, and is able to lay it in. That's a young guy with a great post game. It looks like he, with a little bit of refinement here, he's going to have a great high school career. Becker now with a 3-point shot, and he drains that from all the way downtown Richmond. Drop one in the bucket, Braden Becker. Score right now is 21-15 for the Eagles. Now we got another travel call here on the Royals. This time, this one was on Aaron Kloss as he was setting up to take a 3-pointer. He walked before he took the shot. The refs are having none of that today. Herring brings the ball up the floor. Kicks it over to Becker in the corner. Becker drops it into Hiltner. Hiltner trying to make something happen in the post and has his pocket picked. Royals ball on the turnover. You've got Reagan Elliott bringing the ball up the floor and kind of handling around the point here, looking to get something going here. He passes it over to Bozer. Bozer steps in, kicks it in the corner to Albright. Albright drops it low for Kloss. Kloss takes a jump shot, misses a little bit long, and rebounded by Van Erden. Into the hands of Albright. Albright passes it in the corner, and it goes in and out of the hands of Elliott. And we're going to have a timeout call now by the Royals. I want to discuss this a little bit now. A little bit of sloppy play. They're definitely not out of this game by any stretch. It's only a 6-point game here, but I'm sure Coach Albright's going to have a little conversation here to get things cleaned up. Also, I believe Caleb DeRose is getting substituted into the game here to give Nyman a break. If I saw that correctly, we'll see here right after the half comes back out what they do. So far, some of the things I'm really liking to see out of the Eagles today is they're moving that ball around well, finding the open guy, finding the down low cuts. Sometimes they can settle for only outside shots, and they're kind of working inside to out, which is a great way to play ball. A lot of hustle, a lot of effort, which is great to see. And actually, it's Langer that comes out, and DeRose comes in. So in the game, you got Nyman, DeRose, Becker, Herring, and Hiltner, and you get a long shot there for Nyman, and it rims in and out. Rebounded by the Royals. The other thing I'm really liking to see out of the Eagles that was missing earlier in the season is they're getting a lot of defensive rebounds, and they were for a little bit. A three-pointer made there by the Royals. Number 15, Gannon Petron. And again, I'm sorry I'm not used to these names from the Royals, so if I miscall a name here from anybody from Royalton watching, I do apologize. We got a foul there by Hiltner. On the rebound, he tried to swat the ball out of Van Nerden's hand, and they called him for that. But really liking to see the Eagles get a lot of defensive rebounds here. That's been something that earlier in the year they were giving up a lot of offensive rebounds, a lot of second chance to opposing teams, and so really great to see that hustle and them the boxing out and picking up a lot of those rebounds. That's great from our guys. Royals moving that ball around the perimeter here, looking to get their own spacing set up, drop it into Van Nerden. He fakes a shot, drives it to the lane and lays it in. He's got some ups, Van Nerden does. Drops it down into Hiltner. Hiltner drops, steps across the middle, and lays it in over the front of the rim. It's a close game right now. It's only 3 points, 23-20, with 4.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Nerden at the top of the key, kicks it out. Ball is getting swung around. Royals trying to find space. The Eagles doing a good job of sliding and moving and getting guys covered. That ball is over to Albright, who takes a three-point shot. He's made one today from three, but other than that, I don't know that he's made a lot today. He's just a little bit off of his game, and we'll see if the law of averages work out and it gets to be better as it goes. A little bit of a disagreement on who the ball went out of bounds. It was called off on the Eagles, but the Eagles disagreed. I believe it went out on the Royals, so you always have a little bit of talking between the coaches and the refs, which is part of the game when it's done properly. Royals move that ball around, and Klaus gets a three-point shot, then he misses. Rebounded by Becker, who brings the ball up the floor, passes to Nyman on the wing. Nyman across to Hiltner. Hiltner drives down low, and he takes a jump point shot from above the block and lays that in, and puts that in. Sorry, it was not a layup. He didn't lay it in. He put it in on a shot. Royals moving that ball around. They take a layup attempt that misses. That was Marshall. Becker rebounds, brings the ball up the floor, puts it across to Herring. Herring looks to cut backdoor, steps back, swings it all the way across court to Nyman. To Becker, back to Herring. And Nyman drives, tries to take a shot, and has that ball deflected a little bit on the shot, comes up short. Royals now moving that ball around again. Baseline drive, kick across the corner, in the corner to Klaus. I was trying to say corner and Klaus. And we have another travel. by the Royals here. It's got to be the 4th or 5th call on the Royals for travel. And so, again, that was 6, so not sure. It's probably the 3rd one on him personally, so not sure. I haven't seen exactly what's happening there to give my own opinion, but the refs are definitely calling that one tight tonight. We're not in the NBA, that's for sure. Herring drives and tries to do the reverse layup. Comes up a little off the mark. Only a 5-point game here, 25-20. Another missed jump shot attempt there by the Royals. And rebound by the Eagles. Quickly up to Nyman, now to Becker, who takes a 3-point shot, and he drains that one from all the way downtown Kimball. Drop it in the bucket, Braden Becker. 3-point shooting for the Eagles has been pretty good today. And we get a drop into Marshall in the post, and he drop steps and lays it in and is fouled on the shot attempt by the Eagles. So right now the score is 28-22 for the Eagles. 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go in the first half, and the fouls are 5 against the Eagles and 2 against the Royals. Coach Anderson is talking to the ref there, though he disagrees with some of these being called as fouls, but nonetheless, they've been calling that game pretty clean. Both shots by Marshall are missed, and Becker rebounds off the second shot attempt. Diamond up the floor quickly the other way. As it to Becker. Becker swings it across back to Nyman. And then cut down low to DeRose, who's hit pretty hard on that layup attempt and misses wide. And Becker drives down the lane and lays it in. And Becker is on his A game today. Score right now 30-22 as Van Nerden has it down low on the base. He tries to lay that in, misses, rebounded by Marshall, who tries to lay it in and misses. Rebounded by DeRose, who brings the ball up the floor the other way. DeRose to Becker, back to DeRose, back to Becker. Nyman in the corner. There's a cutting Herring. Nyman doesn't quite see him. Nyman cuts across and takes a jump shot that just misses. And Royals ball here with 33 seconds left to go in the game, or in the first half rather. I meant to say game clock. Herring picks Marshall's pocket and he drives it down low. And on the pass play, he sends it across to, tries to send it across to Nyman. And there's a foul made by number 55, Marshall there. And so it's going to be Eagles ball down below the baseline. Up to Herring. Herring across to Langer. Langers moves that ball around. Nyman's hands. We got 17 seconds left to go in the half and on the shot clock. Now 12. We're going to try to set up for last shot here. 8 seconds left to go. Nyman to Herring, back to Nyman. And Nyman gets the 3-point shot that falls from all the way downtown Watkins. Nice pass play there for the final shot of the half. What a shot by Bryce Nyman. That score now is 33-22 for your Eden Valley Watkins Eagles. Drop one in the bucket, Bryce Nyman. Way to go into the half here. Again, that score is 33-22 for the Eagles, and we'll be back after the halftime. back with the second half of Eagles basketball. We got the starting lineup back on the floor of Nyman, Becker, Kraft, Langer, and DeRose. And it is Eagles ball. Ball being swung around by Nyman to DeRose. Nyman takes a long three-pointer straight off, but rebounded by Becker. Now Becker takes his own three-pointer, and he drains that one from all the way downtown Paynesville. Drop one in the bucket, Braden Becker. Score now 36-22 for the Eagles. Great way to start off the second half here. Jump shot attempt from in the middle of the block. Was missed by the Royals. Back the other way by Nyman, kicked over to Langer. Langer is just a little bit off on his three-point shot, but rebounds his own shot. Swings it across the court to Becker, back to Nyman on the other wing. Back to Becker on the point, then to Rose. Boys just moving the ball around right now, looking to get something set up, find a matchup they like. Down low to Kraft, who takes a jump shot attempt from the J. A little bit strong and bounces out. Rebounded by the Royals. Royals now looking to get their own shot set up here. They haven't had much offense at all, with only 22 points in the first half. And a lot of the same that they had in the first half is that three-point shot attempt there was missed by Bozer. Oh, sorry, not by Bozer, by Elliott. We got a shot in by the Eagles there. I believe that was Langer on the shot. Royals drive down low, kick that ball across to Albright on the drive, and he lays the ball in. And now Becker's got the ball as he looks to get the offense set up. Becker's been really hot from the three-point line today. Langer now, three-point shot is short, so therefore rebounds long. Ends up in the hands of Langer, who drops it into Nyman, who passes it to a cutting DeRose, who lays it in. 40 now to 24 for the Eagles. Royals move that ball around. Could have been a foul there on the Eagles. Refs did not call it on a blocking foul. It's a bit of a collision there. And the Royals have now a backdoor cut by Sick, who jumps and shoots and misses his shot. Rebounded by the Eagles. Back and forth here between Becker and Nyman as they look to get something going here. Becker now with another three-point shot. That one misses. He hasn't had a lot of misses. And on the rebound attempt here by Nyman, he's pushed by Albright, by Jacob Albright, and ends up falling out of bounds, but is fouled on that push. So down below the baseline, into Kraft. Kraft lays it in. Scoring right now is 42-24. Royals really working hard here to get something set up on offense. Van Nerden takes a long two-point shot that misses. Rebounded by the Eagles. Now to Rhodes with a three-point shot. That's short and bounces straight back. From my point, it was dead on the money, but just short. Now Sick tries to lay it in. He misses that one. Rebounded by Becker. Now Nyman will bring the ball up the floor. Nyman back to Becker. To DeRose in the corner. DeRose breaks through a double team. Drives in the lane and takes a short jumper. Score right now 44-24 as the Eagles extend that lead to 20 points. And the Royals are going to have a timeout here to discuss what to do. But it's tough. I mean, the Royals are just having some poor shot luck here. The shots just aren't falling. When you're having a low shooting percentage, there's not a lot you can do. I really don't think that they're taking bad shots or forcing shots. They're just not hitting shots. Sometimes that's the way it goes. Sometimes one person goes on a cold streak, and sometimes the whole team goes on a cold streak. And right now, the whole team is on a cold streak, unfortunately, for the Royals. So I'm sure they'll see what they can do to get themselves back in the game. In my experience, pushing that ball in down low and taking higher percentage shots and working those shots in from down by the basket and working in to out, that's usually the best way to break those kind of spells. But we'll see what the Royals can come up with. But the Eagles right now seem to be getting most of what they want to go into work. So the Eagles are shooting great from three-point, although they just had a couple misses in a row. But they seem to do that. Once they start to miss a little bit, they get that ball down in low and start shooting from down low. So good to see the Eagles mixing it up. As the kids are getting into a little Neil Diamond here in the gym. Three-point shot attempt there by the Royals is a miss and rebounded by Caleb. Rose brings that ball up the floor to Langer, to Nyman in the corner. Nyman tries to cut baseline. He's met there, and they're going to have looks like a jump ball. And that ball is going to go over to the Royals, as the Eagles had last possession off of a jump. So Royals pass that ball in. Drop down low into the paint. It's Albright, and he's able to shoot that in. Kind of what we talked about, the high percentage shots, having to mix it up to kind of break out of those shooting slumps. Nyman fakes a three, passes over to Langer. Langer down to DeRose in the corner. DeRose is double teamed there. And then DeRose tries to pass the ball out, and that ball is picked up by Sick. Intercepted. Going back the other way now, score 44-26. And we're going to have a foul here by the Eagles on Preston Langer with the foul. And coach is going to make the first change of the second half and bring in Hiltner and Hearing. And Becker and Langer will come out for a quick breather here. Long three-point attempt there by Albright is made by the Royals. And that's always the thing too, you know, shooting is often a percentages game. And so a lot of times when you've had a real bad spell there for a little while, you can also get in a real hot streak too, right? Because typically if you shoot a certain percentage, they go miss, hit, and sometimes they go a lot of misses in a row and then a lot of hits in a row. So another three-point attempt there from the Royals. There you go, those two three-pointers hit quickly there. And that brought that lead down pretty quickly, as Jacob Anderson is going to call a quick timeout here, because that score got cut really quickly from a 20-point lead now to a 12-point lead, just like that. So that's the big difference. When you can get shots to fall, it makes a big difference. You have the Eagles missing a couple shots, and then the Royals making a couple shots. Swings things quickly. Also change your defense quite a bit, because if you're playing against guys that aren't making shots, you don't have to play them so tight. You can give them a little bit of space and collapse towards the basket a little bit more. Helps with rebounding and defending the interior. But if they're making shots, you got to get out to that perimeter and defend those shots, you know, which spreads the floor a little bit too, right? So, so the coach, I'm sure, is talking to the guys about needing to move things around and get that defensive aggression back to where it was. And we got Hiltner there with a layup attempt that's missed. Another three-pointer shot there by the Royals is missed. And Nyman comes back the other way quickly on a fast break. And he's fouled there by Reagan Elliott with the block. So Nyman will get to shoot two. Refs haven't called a ton of fouls this game, so right now it's only two fouls for the Eagles this half and two fouls for the Royals this half and one for the Eagles. score right now, 45-32. 11 minutes and 53 seconds left to go in the game. Nyman makes both of those shots, stretches that lead up to 14. Royals moving the ball quickly up the floor. Seems like they're going to kind of double down on some of these shots that were working as Van Erden lays it in over the front of the rim. Herring now has the ball. Passes it over to DeRose and tries to pass it into Kraft. And Kraft is fouled there by Van Erden on the pass play. So this will be an inbound play now from below the baseline. Herring's going to do the passing in. To Hiltner. Hiltner with a short jump shot. Puts that in. I think it's the second time they've run that exact play, and the second time that Hiltner's had that clean of a shot too, so it's worked well. Albright cuts across the top of the key and takes essentially a foul shot distance. That rims in and out, rebounded by Nyman, who makes a nifty behind the back dribble play to get out of trouble. Pass attempt from Herring there to Hiltner. Sails a little high and over Hiltner's head. Royals ball. Sick passes it in to Bozer. And Bozer will bring the ball up the floor. Marshall back in the game. He shoots that out to, that was Gannon Petron, who took a three-point shot that's missed, rebounded by the Royals and laid in. And that's what the Eagles have got to avoid, is those second shot attempts. Those all start to kill a team pretty quick if you let a lot of those go. And a bad pass play there by Nyman is picked up by the Royals. Petron drives the ball down the floor and is fouled trying to lay it in. And so now they're going to get 2 points, two shot attempts here for the Royals. And coach is going to bring Langer and Becker back into the game. Petron makes the first shot, and Hiltner's going to come out, and so is Nyman coming in out for a breather. Second shot is made by Petron, so now the lead is cut to 10. Herring brings the ball up the floor. So far, no pressing happening in this game. But the Royals are doing a lot to be combative and aggressive on the pass plays, and that's worked out well for them. There's a layup attempt there by DeRose, and he's hit pretty hard there by Van Erden, and they do not call that one a foul. I would say that Jacob Anderson was not happy about that. He wanted that, and then out of bounds on the other end off the rebound attempt by the Eagles, and it's going to be Royals ball for the inbound play from below their baseline, wide of the rim. Bulls are moving that ball around, gives it down to Van Erden. Van Erden's very athletic. He's blocked there by Kraft on a really nice defensive play. Bolger gets a shot attempt though, off the rebound. And again, now this was part of the trouble the Eagles have had earlier in the year where they gave up a lot of second shot attempts. That's hard to rebound off of a blocked pass. Now hit to Langer here for the three-point shot. That's long to Kraft, and then passes it out to Becker, and Becker hits that from all the way downtown Litchfield. What a shot there, Becker. Put one in the bucket, Braden Becker. Brought that lead back to 11. Van Erden has the ball down low, and he lays it in over the front of the rim on the jump shot. Herring quickly up the floor to DeRose. DeRose drives baseline, kicks it back to Herring, who then also follows and drives baseline, lays it in and misses it. Herring there now challenging Bolzer to bring the ball up the floor. Herring passes it down into Van Erden. who drop step dribbles and lays it in over top of Kraft. Score right now 51-44. And the only 7-point lead here now for the Eagles. The lead up to over 20 at one point is now cut way down to only 7 points here. All the things that the Eagles need to be careful of, the second shot attempts here, and for the opposing team on the offensive rebounds, and them starting to drain some of their shots. All of that's been happening here, and the Royals have been following advice and getting themselves out of the slump by getting the ball down and low and taking high percentage shots, which is the best thing that they could do. You can keep trying to push from three-point when you're not making it, but all you're going to get is a whole lot of bricks. So unfortunately, the Royals listen to that. Now they're pulling themselves back into the game here. Eagles ball here, as Becker's going to take the sideline inbound pass. Looks like Herring's in the backcourt, ready to receive. Becker passes it to Herring. Herring tries to drive by Bozer. Drops it to Nyman, down to Kraft down low. Kraft is blocked by either Klaus or Marshall. Has his shot attempt blocked. And now it's Royals ball. Nyman nearly picks the pocket of Albright. Ball swung around to Bozer now. Albright has it. Passes across to Bozer again, nearly intercepted by Nyman. 8 seconds left on the shot clock here as Albright looks to get something going. He fakes the pass and gets a pretty clean three-point shot. And Sick is able to rebound it. Tries the layup attempt, misses, and rebounded by Herring. Nyman now gives it to a wide open Caleb DeRose, who's just a little off on that, and then rebounded by Kraft on that, who goes up for the layup and is fouled on that. Nice power move down low from Kraft on the rebound and go up, and he lays that in. And on the foul, so he'll get one shot here. As the Eagles get that lead back up to 9, Kraft has a chance here to push it up to 10. He makes that 10-point game here now. And a turnover by the Royals on offense there. Quickly back the other way as DeRose dishes out to Herring, who tries a three-point shot that's blocked by Klaus and sent out of bounds. Herring thought he had a pretty wide open shot there, but Klaus was running wild and got that arm up. Eagles ball from wide right of the basket into Nyman. Nyman across to Becker, to DeRose. DeRose moves away from the three-point line, gains a little bit of room here. So they pass that ball around. Nyman's got the ball down low, kicks it to a wide open Becker. And Becker, just barely misses that shot. He's been pretty money today from 3 points. But nobody shoots perfect, just barely off the mark on that one. Ball nearly intercepted by Herring. Ends up out in the hands of Patron, who is able to drain the three-pointer. Lee cut down to 7. Nyman's got the ball now, passes it to Herring in the corner. Herring fakes a shot, goes up, and is hit pretty hard there by Van Erden, but is able to lay it in. The refs have been letting a lot of that contact in the air go. And now Klaus takes a three-point shot that misses. Rebounded by Van Erden, and he's blocked there by Kraft. And they're going to call a jump ball. There's going to end up being Eagles ball here. I don't think Nyman agreed. He kind of ripped it out of the guy's hands, but they'd already blown the whistle, so. Eagles ball. A little bit of pressing now from the Royals. Over to Rose on the wing now. Back to Becker on the point, to Herring, down to Nyman. Nyman cuts through the top, gives a wide open shot to DeRose. Just been just a little bit off on those shots. And it's been working well though because the Eagles have been rebounding those shots. Nyman goes for the layup attempt and is fouled there. 2 points, or 2 shot attempts here for Nyman. It's now the 5th team foul now for the Royals. Haven't been calling a lot of fouls on the shots of the Eagles, but they have been on these rebound shot attempts. Nyman now with the second shot that drains. So he did get the 2 points. And Royals bring the ball up the floor the other way. Drop the ball in low to Albright. Albright takes the jump shot and puts it in. It's been pretty good from down there. It's worked. Been a pretty good recipe for success for the Royals in the second half. Nyman cuts through, kicks it out to Becker. Becker drops it off to Nyman. Now Nyman takes a long jump shot that misses, but Herring gets the rebound. And Herring goes to lay it in, and he's fouled there by Van Erden. That has worked well, this post-game hustle here for the Eagles, getting in on their own offensive rebounds, and those scrums get a little more wild, and they're drawing fouls on them. So great job by the Eagles getting down low and doing the work, the dirty work, down in the paint. Herring hits the first one. Now Herring drains the second. Score right now is 60-49. A little over 5 minutes left to go in the game as the Royals look to get their offense set up here. Been back and forth with Herring and Van Erden here. Herring's been kind of a key figure for them. He takes a 3-point shot there though and misses. It's been great down low, not great from 3-point. Nyman tries for the layup that misses. Back the other way down low to Van Erden, who drives and tries to cut, has the ball knocked out of his hands by Herring, though. And DeRose comes back the other way. As he's trying to drive to the basket, he's hit in the face there by, that was Elliott. Reagan Elliott. Now we're going to be in the bonus here. I don't think they're going to call it a shot. I think they're going to call it a bonus. So that means 1 and 1. If DeRose hits the first one, he gets the second shot. If he misses the first one, it's live ball. DeRose takes the first one. That one misses. Ends up in the hands of Becker. DeRose takes the second shot and is able to lay that one in over the front of the rim for 2 points. Score right now 62-49. Royals trying to move that ball around, see what they can't get open now. That lead starts to get a little bit bigger again. Van Erden from just inside the free throw line drains that. That's been a recipe, and I'm not sure why the Royals have moved away from it. Albright, Van Erden, or Marshall down low have been really good today. So Becker now with a 3-point shot, all the way from downtown Manana. Attaboy, Braden Becker, drop one in the bucket. Score now is 65-51. Three-point shot attempt there again by the Royals. Misses, this time by Elliott. Nyman quickly up the floor the other way. Nyman trying to drive, kicks it out to Herring for a wide open three. And Herring hits that from all the way downtown Watkins. Great shot, Matt Herring. Drop one in the bucket. And the Royals are going to take a timeout here. Eagles are setting this barn on fire. So, as I mentioned earlier, my name is Mike Harrison. We do this kind of out of the River of Life Youth Group out of Cold Spring. It's kind of where we started getting the equipment and doing some of these games, live streaming football games and basketball games. And Joe DeRose, the dad of Caleb DeRose, owner of Riverside Resort in Richmond, he started doing something when he was calling the games. He prefers to watch his son play if he can. My son is a ninth grader in C squad, so I watched him before this. But he liked to do inspirational quotes here. As the Royals move that ball around, I'm going to give a quick inspirational quote. It's by Truman Capote, who was the author of books like Breakfast at Tiffany's and In Cold Blood. And he said, failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor. And yeah, I like that. I won't opine on that too much, but Joe started doing those inspirational quotes, and I like trying to do them sometime in the second half when we get a chance. But right now, there's 3 minutes left in the game, with the Eagles up 68-53. Fouls are 7 against the Royals, 3 against the Eagles. The Nerdin got fouled there on that layup. And DeRose nearly had that ball knocked away, so I got a little distracted by that, and then Bernard put in a layup attempt. But the Royals, of course, getting aggressive here because they're far behind. They need something going. And Nyman got hit pretty dang hard, went to the floor. They did not call a foul on it, but then DeRose got the rebound, and he tried to go up, and they called a foul on that one. So the refs have been letting a little bit go, letting the boys play a little bit aggressive here. I mean, they're not letting travel go at all, but letting the fouling go a little bit. DeRose misses his second shot here. But DeRose is a pure shooter, and what I've noticed about pure shooters is they're either really on or just a little off. And right now he's just a little off. Makes up for that one with a swish. Get that shot dialed in. Starts missing too many, and Joe will have him outside tomorrow in the cold, shooting free throws in the backyard. Albright here drops it down to Van Nerden. Van Nerden twists around and lays it in. Being pressed right now as DeRose tries to bring the ball up the floor, and he is fouled there by Sick with the reach-in attempt. And now we're at 9 fouls, so again, we're going to be in the bonus here with DeRose for a chance to get 2 points. Got to make the first, though. DeRose with the first foul attempt here. Drains that one. Nice, pretty shot. Dialed in again. See if he can make this 2. And he does. Score right now 71-56. With 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. Van Nerden again with another shot from the foul line drops in, 71-58. Game's not out of hand quite yet for the Royals, but they're definitely going to have to get a few stops here. Nyman drives down into the paint, takes a fadeaway jumper and drops that one in. Nice shot by Nyman. Royals, Petron swings it down over to Albright on the wing. Albright drops it back into Van Nerden. And he's met there by Becker, has the ball knocked out of his hands and then picked up by Kraft. Nice defensive play by Braden Becker. And Becker's been on his game today. Bernardin now stole the ball from Kraft on that pass-in play. I saw Bernardin dunking in the pregame, and he looked like he wanted that. He looked like he wanted that breakaway there real bad. But DeRose fouled him. Stop him from getting a free break, which I'm always a fan of. Don't give up easy buckets if you can help it. Little confusion there in the Royals on what play they were running as ball ends up in Petron's hands. He drives with the layup attempt, misses, rebounded by Kraft. Nyman now quickly up the floor where he's met by Petron. The Kraft will drive, Nyman will drive a little bit. He tries to pass it across to Kraft. Little miscommunication, and that ball ends up out of bounds. Minute and 10 seconds left to go in this game with the Eagles up by 15. Probably getting pretty close to out of reach here for the Royals, but if they can get a couple shots quick, they drop it down to Van Erden. Van Erden tries to drive. He's fouled on that play. It's going to be from below the baseline. There's only 5 team fouls now on the Eagles. So we got one more to give. Sick looks to pass it in. Gets it to, tries to get it to Albrecht and knocked away by Becker. I'm not sure what they're going to call here. Well, they're going to call that a push by Albright. The ball was kind of being batted around between Albright and Becker, and somehow they're going to call that as a foul against Albright on that one. Jacob's not sure why, and so he's talking with the ref politely to get an answer to it. And so, which the refs are all for. Refs don't mind having those kinds of conversations when it's done politely. Becker makes the first shot and drains the second one. Been a great day for Becker on the court. Great on offense, great on defense. Van Erden again with another shot from the foul line. He misses that one, but rebounded by Sick. He has the ball battered out of his hands, but he's able to get it back. Passes it over to Petron, who tries a three-pointer, and Herring knocks that ball straight out of bounds on the three-point shot. Sick now passes the ball back in. 10 seconds left to go on the shot clock there. Sick takes a shot from in front of the basket, gets that to fall in. Now I'm going to bring the ball up the floor here. 35 seconds left to go in the half as he crosses the half court. Passes it over to Herring. Herring over to DeRose. DeRose back to Herring. There's about a second to a second and a half difference between the shot clock and game clock. And the Eagles are going to be happy to waste a bunch of that time until it gets closer to the end here. DeRose dribbles out of trouble. Passes it off to Nyman, back to DeRose. 6 seconds left to go in the game here. Score is 75-60. And they have a shot clock violation as they just dribble it out. 1.7 seconds left to go in the game. And we'll see if the Royals here even get a shot off. No need to. No need to drive the score up for the Eagles. No need for the Royals to take some wild, crazy shot. And that'll be the game, folks, with your Eagles winning 75-60 over the Royalton Royals. Thank you for joining us for Eden Valley Walk-Ins basketball. We hope you have a great night, and God bless. We'll see you next time.